Okay, so let me ask you, that was turned down, you said this morning?
222, I just got the notice that he denied the TRO.
Okay.
I don't know any more details, though, about what the allegation... I mean, they said it could... They said that the software could alter results, but I don't really know anything about it.
Okay. Let me ask you, you're seeing this election, and you were in charge of the former election. Are there places that you would have done it differently, and you could have seen problems that exist that we're seeing now?
Well, I don't want to second guess Secretary Husted, because I do respect the office, and I do think that they're making an effort to run a smooth election. And I also think that the poll worker training that we instituted, that the judge in the Toledo Federal District Court case has required under a consent decree for 6 years be in place, will make the big difference this year. People get concerned about things on Election Day, and they look at the election process from their own personal perspective of what it was like for them to vote. You know, there are some things that I'm concerned about that aren't in place this year, such as the issue of double bubble. It was something that the boards of elections they chafed at, having to look at where there was an overvote on a paper ballot and determine if, in looking at voter intent, the person actually just overemphasized their vote. That requirement is completely gone. So the election counting process will not be as accurate as it was in 2008. I don't know how else to say it, because if you're not following the law and actually discerning voter intent, and you're letting the machine say that what's known as a double bubble, someone fills in the oval for the candidate of their choice and happens to also fill in the oval for write-in and write in the same candidate's name, that vote counts. But without making the boards of elections go back and find those votes won't count. So I imagine if the vote's really close, which I'm not convinced it's going to be, that there'll be some lawsuit that will ask a judge to take a look at that issue.
So you don't think it's going to be as close as what we hear?
An automatic recount statewide is 0.5% or slimmer, and I don't think we're going to be there. I think I was taking a look at the early voting statistics, and we have a lesser number of registered voters now. We were at about 8.2 in 2008. We're down to about 7.9 million in 2012. Now, in 2008, we had just a few less voters, maybe about 70,000, between 60 and 70,000 less early voters than what we have this year. So that was at about 29.7% of all the people who voted, and that was at a 69.7% turnout. So this year, if we anticipate a 65% turnout, and it could be higher, the number of people who voted early that we can tell right now, because some still haven't come in yet, is at least 34%. So, and we know from 2005 forward that 2006 forward that early voting is predominantly taken advantage of by Democrats. So, you know, these polls, I can't tell how they're really taking into account early voting, because it's like an exit poll. A lot of people don't tell you the truth after they leave the voting booth. So you're polling people who said that they haven't voted, but you don't know for sure if they have. So I think it's very inexact, and I think, frankly, no offense to the media here, but a lot of the talk media, where the 24 hours, they have nothing better to talk about. They're running out of things to say. So if they can stir up that it's razor sharp and close, they sell more ads.
Have you heard anything that raises any big red flags for you about how the process is going today?
No, I was frankly disappointed that there wasn't more weekend voting, early voting, but that again is going to be the hallmark of that administration and its choice they made for uniformity. But so far today, everything that I've seen, and I've been to 2 polling locations, I voted at one and I talked to people outside of another one for another interview, things seem to be moving along briskly, smoothly, and as I would expect.
Okay.